in the bottom right, we have our Terran player. A bit overshadowed in this group, but he's still got a shot. He is
MVP Noblesse.
And now, in the upper right, we have the Starcraft 1 Queen's ability.
Ensnare.
You know, I actually feel like Ensnare was fairly under... I mean, it could have been used more in Starcraft 1.
Yeah, there were games
there were a few moments
towards the end of StarCraft 1 where Jadong did use Ensnare.
Yeah.
But I think he was more screwing around than anything, to be honest. I think he's like, well, I'm Jadong. I mean, whatever. It's like he rolls a die. What bad unit am I going to use? It's like, wait, I have to kill him with infested Terrans? Uh-oh.
Then he has another die he rolls to figure out like what body part he's going to play with. He's like, well, I can only use my elbows in this game.
Which is fine.
It's fine. It's no
His
problem.
elbows have more fingers than a chimpanzee.
His elbows have better mutamicro than like most pro gamers.
That's true, too.
The map is Tal'Darim Altar. And this is a great map. I think there's a slightest disadvantage here for Ensnare. That expansion is very pushable from the low ground. And now, as we see here, oh, excuse me, I think I have their name switch, but that you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me. I don't know, this is going to be an interesting game, Artosis. Do you think Noblesse has a shot?
Well, yeah. I feel Noblesse is a better player than Ensnare. Ensnare is still obviously quite good, but he's really fallen off. What has he done lately? Well, he's done pretty well for himself, to be honest, but Noblesse is like one of these really strong upcoming kids. And the upcoming kids are scary, man. There's a lot of them. Children are going to take over the world one day. We have to stop this taste.
We got to stop children, man.
Children are actually
We're going to get older, and children are going to take over the earth.
Yeah, they're going to run stuff and like put us in homes.
I know.
And they're going to like vote down our Medicare.
I know.
I'm going to have to get my AARP card. It's going to be terrible.
It's going to be rough, man.
They're going to like mark up the peanuts that I want to buy next to the drugstore and the post office.
And you'll try to reminisce about your days when you were like, I was once a StarCraft pro, and they'll be like, whatever, Grandpa, and they'll put on their like 3D goggles or whatever, and like, they're like their power gloves and stuff, and start like manipulating environments. Like, I'm gonna go play StarCraft 8.
Well, StarCraft 8, I'll be playing that, man.
Yeah, man. Well, you're gonna live forever. That's your plan.
Yeah. You playing StarCraft till there's no more. Actually, that's when I'll die. When they're like, Blizzard's actually like, we're not making more StarCrafts, and I'm like, let me make that noise again.
That's the sound you make when your soul dies inside. All organs are stopped.
And also, I'm like 4,000 years old at that point, so like that's all that's left is me.
You actually look like the guy from Tales from the Crypt, like
Yeah.
right then.
I'm actually made out of dust and ash at that point. Like dust and ash and like a brain. I have to wear special gloves, like put glue on my hands so I don't fall apart.
So we have a quick command center coming up here. And I think we're going to have a little bit more downtime for the time being. Sorry, guys. I wanted to tell you about this game, but it's pretty straightforward right now. I do think it's pretty interesting. He went for the reactored starport early on.
Yeah, and Blue Flame Hellions.
Yeah,
so
that's a bit
that's
unusual.
Cool. Well, it's going to own up the Banshee, at least, of Noblesse. And, I mean, Blue Flame Hellions are Blue Flame Hellions. Those things are always good. So, actually, he's got a pretty cool build against what Noblesse is doing here. Oh, look at that.
That was close. Here comes the Banshee now.
Imagine if you could lift up a depot with the unit on it, and it's like stuck up there. I just have like fields of depots. That'd be my strat.
Uh-oh. Intercepted. This is a really bad start here for Noblesse.
Yeah,
that
that's
Banshee's
bad.
gunned down.
And don't forget, against someone just making regular Hellions, he's actually sitting here making regular Hellions, some Marines, and a Viking. So he's going to be facing Blue Flame Hellions and a bunch of Vikings, which are really good against Hellions on the ground. So actually, this might be a timing from Ensnare that can just go over and kill Noblesse.
I like this.
It's really cool.
You know, I guess when you really think about it, I don't know why we wouldn't see more of this because so many people are Banshee dependent anyways. All right, here come the 3 Vikings.
Now there is a bunker up
4,
that's...
excuse me.
Noblesse is thanking his lucky stars that there's some... that's a
Whoa,
bunker there.
he's actually going to do that. Okay, I was not anticipating that.
SCV's coming out very swiftly. Smart move.
Yeah, you got to react like that
Yes.
at a moment like that.
You must react with great haste, Tasteless.
Well, I guess the game will now go on as both players are setting up expansions. It's nice to see when people know when they're supposed to land Vikings.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You know,
And, you know, he finally gets a fresh breath of air. Their little visor comes up when they land.
yeah.
And oh my god, he's going after a bunker with Vikings! I've never seen this battle before.
Remember this, guys. You may never see this again.
Or maybe you'll see it all the time.
Yeah, you've seen it change.
This is actually so scary for Noblesse, man.
This is actually such a badass little rush.
It truly is. And up they go. Out comes everything as they come up. And will he land again? Nope. He got a little bit greedy there, wanting to kill off the orbital. And Noblesse...
I think he should have just held his position on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you. He should have stayed on the ground a bit longer. But he got greedy, man. He saw the orbital flying. He's like, oh my god, you know what? It's flying. Vikings in the air. And he lifts them off. He's like, I have tools for every occasion. Feel my wrath, Noblesse. And Noblesse was like, oh, okay. And he runs out with his ground army and just makes him run away. And he's like, oh.
You gotta think.
A Swiss Army knife, Tasteless. You can clean your ears with it. You can open a can, but you can't kill a bear.
You cannot. Well, I can kill a bear with an army knife.
Of course, you're Tasteless.
Now, well, what's going to happen next? We see more factories coming.
That is the question.
That was like me thinking out loud and like saying what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, I just actually am wondering what they're going to do next.
That muffin I had earlier was really tasty.
I haven't had a muffin in a long time.
No, me neither.
Muffins are actually pretty overrated. But then again, no, you know what? Muffins aren't even hyped up.
No, they aren't hyped up.
People don't talk about
blueberry
muffins.
muffin is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, blueberry muffins are okay. But sometimes blueberry muffins can be pretty bad. You ever like had like a bad one, like one in an airport, and you're like, oh. And you're like, why did I buy a muffin in an airport?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, right now we do have Ensnare making a ton of Hellions. He's got a good Viking army.
Right,
I'm Banshee not going to do very much.
A little surprised Noblesse even sent the Banshee earlier, knowing that there was reactor Vikings here.
Yeah, he knows that there's at least 5 Vikings out and sends it. But it drew those away, so I guess that's why. That was a
very
smart
nice
move.
Right.
SCVs line themselves up, and down go a lot of SCVs.
Oh, man, he's getting a lot of SCVs.
Great moves by Noblesse. That was actually so clever. We're like, oh, I don't know about that. Then, he tricked everybody, including us.
Yep. We stand corrected by Noblesse right now.
He's a trickster, man.
He is.
Not even the Protoss one.
He's just a sneaky snake.
He's one of those as well.
Oh, you know, it's too bad he ended up softening up those SCVs a little bit more than just killing them. But, I mean, an SCV, as much damage as it takes, it's still going to be mining as long as it's not dead. So
yeah. They're very loyal. And look at this, a nice little harassment by Ensnare, just landing. The Vikings come over, and then he says, you know what? I have that it's flying. Vikings in the air! And he lifts them off. Nice blue flame Hellion drop as well. And Ensnare really doing a great job here, Tasteless, running circles around.
Is he going to get out? Nice. Oh, he's going to land? Oh.
He's tricking me into thinking he's going to land, that's for sure. And look at this. I mean, this is great, man. We really don't see enough Viking harassment like this. I think this is kind of what Blizzard had in mind as they made this.
Well, now, it looks like, yeah, I mean, when I saw Dustin Browder talking about the Vikings.
And he was all like, the Viking is a mobile air attack unit. Fly into their base and then land on the ground. I'm not good at it with the Viking. Better at it with Thor.
I do remember thinking I was like, oh, that's gonna be cool. And then when we started playing the game, it wasn't quite like that. It was, you know what I mean? It was just being used.
Now it is.
But now it is.
People just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, man.
Look at this. He just keeps landing these Vikings. They are jacks of all trade, Tasteless.
Oh, and he's gonna do a drop though at the same time.
And a lot of damage being done all over the map, Tasteless.
And unfortunately, this Medivac's pretty low on health. These guys both taking some heavy swings at each other. Unfortunately, right now, the blows are pretty heavy coming from Ensnare as he's actually forced the expansion to sort of relocate. Meanwhile, you know, if he does get up a few more CD kills, though, it's hard to say who's going to win this, Sartosis.
Indeed it is. Well, we have 27 SCVs against 35 right now, and Ensnare in the lead on that, but looks like he does have to pick up. That will be taken out by the Vikings finally. Down it goes. Ouch. 106 supply to 75. Wow, that's quite a lead of 30 supply. Ensnare is in the great spot. Here we go. Noblesse wants to break out.
He's going to try to break free, and I think if Noblesse destroys all this, and he most certainly will, that should put him back in this game.
Yeah. He is here.
Don't do it.
Ensnare is just, oh God. Everything is in Ensnare's web.
Ooh. Very nice Sartosis.
Once again, landing these Vikings, trying to go after those Marines. Don't want to be shot in the
Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Whoop.
Oh.
Probably not quite used to lifting up those Vikings. And now he's going to be able to get this medevac. You know, Noblesse has just been softened up so much that I don't... This is a tough thing to recover, especially considering how good Ensnare is at harassment.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, man. I love these little Viking battles. This is actually so exciting for me. The Viking being able to be used like this, it's a beautiful thing. Thor, though, that kind of shuts Vikings
I
down,
know.
doesn't it? It's like, what counters that? A Thor.
Now, I don't know, we could have another timing push here from Ensnare.
You know,
Ensnare doesn't want to get too far ahead of himself. Oh, they see each other. They see exactly what's going on. Can they react in time, though?
Hitting that gas is so annoying, but that's... Noblesse doesn't quite have the use to do this. Quite yet. Ensnare at the moment, sieging up that gas even more so than before. And this is just such a hard position. I mean, Ensnare is rallying down more siege tanks, more Hellions. And Noblesse just really doesn't have much. His supply continues to plummet. He's over 40 supply down at the moment. Ensnare is actually still being harassed back at his base.
Oh my god, this is like the medevac from hell. Not that one. That's the one from Purgatory. But the other one is, yeah, see?
That's why he's just sitting there.
Yeah, man, he's just in limbo right now.
These flame Hellion battles are so weird.
Yeah, they really are. Oh, man, I think Noblesse is dead. He's been getting behind and more behind and more behind. And
when you're behind, don't get more behind.
Yeah, don't do it.
But Ensnare, he's gotten ahead and more ahead over and over. And, I mean, he's taken his third now, kind of. Made an orbital near the rocks. You know what would be really funny, Tasteless? Making a planetary next to the rocks on third base and killing the rocks in the planetary, then making an orbital there.
Yeah, you can make an SCV out of that planetary, you know.
Yeah. And some more harassment here on Ensnare's SCVs. But Ensnare's lead continues to grow.
I just don't see him recovering in this position.
Well, he's like not even mining, basically. I mean, they both are
now
very
he's going to
SCV
spend
low.
money repairing this.
Yeah, what do you do? Lift it off and let those Vikings go to town on it?
Well, apparently you do.
More coming up. Gonna battle those ice giant Vikings.
Leave the Vikings to me. Am I right?
Yes. Actually, it talks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The guy.
No, that's
it's not a tumor.
There you go. Noblesse is... Oh, man.
And Snare's about to go in for the kill move here. He's got just too much stuff. this was a very slow and steady game where, Noblesse got more and more behind.
And here we go. Noblesse trying to break out of here some way, somehow. And he does a pretty decent job of it, to be honest.
Actually.
But twice the supply for Ensnare right now.
Well, Ensnare is just really scary in this game. It looks like he's just barely recovered.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, I guess, he's not minding of the expansion, so, Oh, this is a sad state of affairs, Artosis. This is sadder than a little baby penguin that's sick.
Oh, a little penguin cough.
That's how sad that is.
It's sadder than when none of the little penguins wanted to play with the baby seal.
Yeah.
And he just felt sad.
And then that baby seal got clubbed and got turned into a hat.
No! That's terrible.
That's how sad this game is, Artosis.
No! That's the worst, most terrible thing, Tastes. I can't believe you said those words. Noblesse is so dead right now.
Yeah.
He's so dead. Sorry, Noblesse. You're going up and down matches.
You notice when the command center leaves, when it blows up, it makes a smoke ring. Did you see that? I just noticed this.
Oh, really? There's nothing less noble than staying in this game right now.
Ooh.
38 supply to 133. GG.
GG.
Noblesse finally gives up with his 17 SCVs.
Well, that game was kind of painful to cast, Artosis.
At times it was. At times it was.
Snare is just too good, unfortunately, for Noblesse.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I just remembered I brought a sandwich to work today. It's in my bag.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm going to eat that on the break.
Wow.
I was just thinking about how I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh, man, I should have eaten before I came into work, but it's okay. Sorry, Noblesse. Snare won, and I'm not going to share my sandwich. No, man. I could, too, because it's one of those big, long Subway sandwich ones.
Yeah.
Spicy Italian, extra jalapenos, yellow mustard.
I love jalapenos.
Some pepper on there.
I just bought a huge jar of jalapenos.
The lady she didn't put enough tomatoes on there, and I'm like,
You
know when they do that?
Call them out, yeah.
She took the tomatoes, she put 2 here, and then there was like a space, and then 2 here before she... Like, you could put a tomato in the middle of the sandwich, and you could cut it in half. The knife cuts through tomato. Subway sandwich people. All right.
Tasteless.
Well, Noblesse is going to fall down to the up and down matches.
Yep.
Noblesse with his thumb there pointing at exactly where he's going right now. And now we're going to have...
Ensnare against Clyde.
Yep.
Winner goes on to the round of 16. Loser just stays in Code S. So Ensnare, once again, heroes it up, stays in. But can he beat Clyde and move on to the round of 16?
I would still say Clyde's the favorite.
Oh, certainly. Clyde is actually... That game he played against MVP was of a super high level. It's like top of a mountain level.
It was.
Not top of Olympus Mons. But
how many games have we done so far? Is it our 4th game? Suddenly I'm like in this weird place that was our 3rd game.
We're going on to game 5.
That's our 5th game.
That was our 4th game.
Okay, I suddenly got like in this weird
Don't you remember
time warp
every TVT
that you ever casted? Like, okay, so we are going to go to a small break, and I'm going to eat my sandwich. You should do something similar. Get some food. We've got another great 10% coming up here at the GSL here at GOMTV.